Heavy rain is tapering off, but we're not through with it yet. It's a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day, and we'll be tracking more heavy rain moving through the area into Sunday.
Kentucky snacks Bluegrass bragging rights, beating Louisville.
It's a great win for this group.
We'll hear from Coach Cal on the big win against the Cardinals.
But this one actually can pick out somebody in a crowd who may have explosives on them, where our dogs are more designed for searching.
Coming up, Rupp Arena breaks out a new form of security for the big game.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Another warm and wet December day. Thanks for watching WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. Showers and storms continue to roll through the Bluegrass state, and a high water threat is still in place for low-lying areas. That is why today is another WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day, and that is why we begin tonight with WKYT's Mike Linden. Hey, Mike.
Kristen, we are looking at even more active weather here over the next few days, but right now things have calmed down a little bit. We are still looking at some rainfall in northern Kentucky along the I-75 northern corridor, but things have since calmed down compared to what we were dealing with earlier today with heavy rain. There were flood warnings issued across the state, including over Stoner Creek in Bourbon County. We saw numerous flash flood warnings over southeastern Kentucky as well, but things again have since calmed down. Here over the past few hours on the Defender Radar Network, we have seen things really beginning to shift northward thanks to this warm front now in place over northern Indiana and Ohio. That's where most of that wet weather has lifted to. But as we look off to the west, there lies what we will see as we head into Sunday. Some pretty active weather, and this particular cold front has actually dropped some tornadoes. There are numerous right now tornado warnings in the Texas area, and we will see this active weather work its way into Kentucky. Not necessarily tornadoes, but more heavy rain and gusty winds here over the next few days. So coming up, I'll break down what we could see out of this particular storm system, not only tomorrow, but into the final days of 2015 into Monday. Kristen?
Mike, thank you. The rain isn't stopping Cats fans from celebrating. They got a late Christmas gift this afternoon. Kentucky pulled out a slim win against Louisville. WKYT's Lee K. Howard joins us now with highlights from a close game.
Yeah, would it be a Kentucky-Louisville game without the drama? This was another good one this afternoon. John Calipari looking for his 200th win as the Kentucky coach. Early first half, Tyler Eulis gets it going. Back-to-back threes to start the game. Later, Eulis goes untouched in transition for the layup. Wildcats up 9 early. Moments later, though, Kentucky up by just 1. Damian Lee lobs it up to Matt Stockman, who's denied at the rim by Alex Poitras. Poitras making the big stop. He had a big day offensively and defensively. Second half now. Cardinals down 8. Quentin Snyder lobs it up to Donovan Mitchell. And then Chinanu Onuaku for the big dunk. Louisville down 4. Calipari not in the Christmas spirit. Moments later, Wildcats up by 1. Eulis with a deep three-pointer from the wing. Huge bucket there. He finished with 21 points. Santa Claus loving it. Kentucky up by 4. 30 seconds left. Kentucky up 2. Eulis kicks it out to Dominique Hawkins. Doesn't look at the shot clock. It's a turnover for Kentucky. Louisville will have the ball in one final chance. Last chance, Damian Lee. He had a huge game today, but he can't get this one to go from the corner. The step-back three is no good, and Kentucky holds on. They get the win 75-73. Here's Rob Bromley after the game.
The Cats found a way to build a 16-point lead in this game. Then they had to find a way to hang on right at the end. Louisville had a three-pointer to win it.
It was a switch. They switched out. I mean, that's what happened. We told it, if he comes off, just someone else take him. We were going to, matter of fact, the goofy coach we were thinking about trapping a pick and roll. So thank God they didn't pick and roll, because someone would have made a three, we'd have lost by 1.
Well, actually, they ran a play. I thought he was going the other way. Got hit with the screen, and Alex did a great job switching out. Stayed down in the stands. The guy did a step back, traveled a little bit, no call, and he couldn't get a good shot off because Alex played such a great D.
The shot clock violation on me was able to give them an opportunity to try to win the game. And I know I made a mistake, though, but I definitely was going to make a big play on defense, or try to at the end. And I'm glad the shot definitely didn't go in at the end.
Kentucky wins it 75-73 after the loss 1 week ago to Ohio State. It has to do so much for the psyche of this team. Cal talking about enthusiasm coming up in sports. For now, that's it from here in Rupp Arena. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rob. We will have much more highlights in here from John Calipari. He talks about life rafts. That's coming up in sports.
Thank you, Lee K. The University of Kentucky Police Department debuted a new security measure at today's game. Officers are now working with a vapor wake dog. The K9 unit is different than ones used in the past. WKYT's Mike Byer walked around Rupp with Cola the dog.
In light of recent terror attacks across the nation and world, UK Police Chief Joe Monroe says his #1 priority is keeping fans safe.
With everything going on in the world today, we're looking at adding and enhancing our security at all our venues.
That's where Cola, the vapor wake dog, comes into play. For years, Rupp Arena has used bomb-sniffing canines before major events, but now the venue has added this four-legged detector from the company called AM Canine, whose job is to protect cats, wild cats that is, and other fans.
It's no different than really what our dogs do, but this one actually can pick out somebody in a crowd who may have explosives on them, where our dogs are more designed for searching.
The 220 million scent cells of the Auburn University bred and trained dog allows it to pick up the smell of an explosive from a moving person. When the target stops, so does the natural plume that follows. As soon as the person moves, the natural plume extends behind them, alerting the dog.
It will pretty much pull the handler in that direction of the odor, and it will follow that odor until it actually identifies the person in a crowd that has the odor.
Chief Monroe says he discovered the technology at a national conference. He adds that today's game between the Cats and Cards was the perfect time for Cola to make his debut. In Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
UK police put the new security measures into place just in time for one of the biggest games of the year. Cats and Cards fans told us today's game was one they've been counting down to since the start of the season. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain talked to fans on both sides of the big in-state rivalry.
Don't lose to Louisville. Whatever you do, don't lose to Louisville.
The Cats on the hunt for their 9th NCAA title. But first, a must-win according to Cats fans against in-state rival, the Louisville Cardinals.
For the state, it's huge. I mean, it's what everybody's talking about. It's what everybody has been talking about the whole week.
Almost life and death to some people.
It is one of the most famous rivalries in college basketball.
Oh, it's as big as it gets. When you're born, you just kind of got to pick a side, and you got to go with it. You can't be fans of both teams. You got to pick a side.
And if you've chosen what UK fans consider the dark side, you're one of few people in Lexington today cheering on the Cardinals.
I'm used to the looks. They usually say something about Loserville. You gotta have tough skin around here to be a Louisville fan.
But it's extremely tough being in an uncomfortable environment.
Is it uncomfortable?
Oh, you have no idea. So uncomfortable. I walked in, everybody started looking at me, and I was like, I wonder why. And I looked down, I was like, oh yeah, I know why now. So it's extremely uncomfortable.
We don't get along on days like today.
In Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
To hear what Coach Cal had to say about his team after the game, head on over to WKYT.com and check out his post-game comments. Many in Pulaski County are remembering 2 men tonight killed in a crash 1 year ago. On December 26, 2014, 28-year-old Jody Johnson and 30-year-old Justin Angel died in a wreck at the intersection of 914 and Kentucky 80. A candlelight vigil started about an hour ago for the two at that intersection. Family and friends are releasing balloons and reading a poem for them. We have a crew at that vigil, and we will show you how people are keeping the men's memory alive tonight on WKYT News at 11. The family and friends of a young Lexington man shot to death earlier this month are now talking about the 20-year-old's life. Lexington police say a 15-year-old shot and killed Andres Soto Jr. while he was standing in a parking lot on Oxford Circle. He later died at the hospital. The 15-year-old is charged with murder. Soto's family and friends told our partners at the Herald Leader he had worked to overcome adversity, and he wanted to help others do the same. One of Soto's former teachers said he wanted to be a youth counselor. The search continues tonight for a missing Eastern Kentucky man. More than 2 weeks have passed since William Scotty Fannin has contacted his family. They last saw him in the Milo community in Martin County. Fannin's family has been searching for him for weeks. Search and rescue crews are using pumps to drain Milo Lake, thinking he may be there. They say it could take several more days to finish draining that lake.
We have had 6 cadaver dogs indicate that there is a body in the lake. They haven't said, and there's no way of knowing whether it's Scotty who we're looking for or if it's someone else.
Fannon's family is asking for help paying for those search efforts. They say the fuel for the pumps is expensive.
All them pumps are running. It's really costly. It's probably $200 to $300 a day or better just for the fuel and stuff.
The family says any kind of donation can help. The sheriff is asking people to stay away from the lake while the crews drain it. Firefighters in Lincoln County are looking into what started a fire early this morning. Flames destroyed a home on Danville Avenue in Stamford. Crews from Lincoln County, Stamford, Houstonville, Crab Orchard, and Lancaster fought the fire. Firefighters say they were able to put out the flames without much trouble. No word on any injuries. This may be the first agreement of its kind in Kentucky. The Frankfort Fire Department and the Georgetown Fire Department are going to combine their training. The State Journal is reporting the joint training agreement will spread all aspects of training recruits between the two departments. The departments will split the cost of training. Recruits will spend 14 weeks training, and they will spend time with both departments. All of this rain shut down the Valley View Ferry at the Fayette-Madison County line. Leaders at the Lexington Traffic Management Center say they've closed the ferry due to high water conditions on the Kentucky River. They are not sure when the ferry will reopen.